Everyone, now I'm here with my next video of bi-directional statement. Actually, this is conditional statement in Java, but in this video, I'm talking about bi-directional statements. That's why the major topic is bi-directional statement. This is the most important topic because in each and every programs we are using conditions and we have to go through these statements. Actually, when we are talking about the conditional statement or we can talk about selection statements, then they all belongs to control structure. Mainly we are going to start control structure. Now we are going to control statements with the help of conditions. That's why it is known as control statements. We are trying to control a program by using few things, that is control structure. And in control structure we have the first one, that is conditional statement, or we can say selection statements. And in conditional statement we are having bi-directional statement. One by one, when I'm moving further with this video, you are going to understand each and everything what I'm talking about right now. And in this video I'm going to consider few topics, that is if statement, multiple if, and if else statement. See, first of all, you have to know what is flow of control. Actually, when we execute our program, control reaches the first statement and flow moves sequentially from one statement to last statement one by one. Means if a teacher is going to say that you have to stand and read a chapter, then how you are going to read it? Chapter heading, chapter name, then para 1, first statement, then moving further with the second, then third, then fourth, till the chapter end. The same way computer is going to do that. It is going to execute the first statement, then second, then third, then fourth in the sequence. Computer is going to run statements. That is flow of control in a sequential order. See, movement of control is known as flow of control. And we have three ways. Number one, normal flow. When we are moving one by one, when we are covering each and every statement, that is normal flow. But see, one diagram is in front of you all. Statement number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continuously if we are reading, that is normal flow. Again. But the second one is conditional flow. When we have two or more than two directions, then we have to think whether we have to move with the first one, then or second one or third one. Then that is conditional flow. See, when somebody told us that we have two paths, either move with this direction or with that direction. When some condition provide us, then we have to choose a direction first of all, then we have to move further. This is conditional flow. And then we have multiple branching flow. Means we have variety of choices. For example, when we are having a menu in front of us, we have so many food in a hotel or a restaurant, and we have menu in front of us, and we can choose any value from that menu, and that food is in front of us. Check well is value. Any value we can choose. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any value, and then we can have any food in front of us from that menu. If something like that, then it is multiple branching flow. When we have few when we have a condition and we have to choose one or two or three, then we have conditional flow. And when we don't have any condition, we are moving one by one in a sequential order, then it is normal flow. And then I'm moving further with bidirectional statement. When we have a particular condition, any of the condition, and that condition says true, then we have to do a task. If it says false, then we are not supposed to do anything. Or sometime we have to do something. Means for true, we have to do, or false, we have to do something else. Then it is bidirectional statement. Bi means to. It always provides us directions. Either this or that. Means sometimes teacher says that call a class captain. If you are calling a girl class captain, then that girl is having different tasks. Teacher is going to allot a different task to a girl class captain and a different allotment to boy class captain. Means two direction. If a girl is coming, then another task. If boy is coming, then another task. Means we are having two directions. And see the next one. These statements work either by containing only one statement or group of statements. Means task can be of one line or two or three or four, five, any number of lines. If we are having one line, then it is purely a single statement. When we are having two or more than two lines, then we are having group of statements. Group of statements known as compound statement. And you have to remember it should be written inside block. Block means curly braces. Inside curly braces you have to mention. When we are moving further, you will understand it because I am going to tell you with the examples. Then we have 6 different bidirectional statements. Means we have 6 different conditional statements. Number 1 is if statement, simple if. Then we have multiple if, means if for more than 2 or 3 times. Then we have if else. Then we have if else if, also known as ladder if else. Then we have nested if. Then we have nested if else. Now, we have so many bidirectional statements, but in this video, I'm going to consider first 3. Now see, we are having a syntax in front of us of if statement. If, then condition. Condition should be inside function bracket. Condition may be true or may be false. But one statement executes when the condition is true. Condition may be true or false, but statement run when condition is true. Means when we are getting some task and our question demands us that condition is true, then do that. And question never says us if condition is false, then do this. That kind of thing, if our question is not supposed to say, then we have to use simple if. And task can contain only one statement or more than one statement. If it contains one statement, then it is simple and a single statement. But maybe a task can contain more than one statement. Then, because it is mentioned that if you are not providing curly braces, it means if by default contain one statement inside if. But if you want to add more than one statement inside if, you have to use curly braces, because by default if is going to use only one statement inside if. If you want, then you have to apply curly braces, and these are known as compound statements. And now, example syntax of multiple if. When we are having more than one if continuously in our program, then it is multiple if. We can have any number of if continuously. It can contain one statement also. It can contain compound statement also. Any number of if we can have in our program, then that is multiple if. See, if and multiple if statement, if we have to do some task when a condition provides true, otherwise doing nothing, means it is if. I told you with this. See, I told you with this. If condition, then statement. And see, all these things what I am telling you again and again, these are if condition then statement. See the same line I had written here. When we are having only a task and a condition, then if condition is true, then we are going to have that task, otherwise we are doing nothing. See, example, if student belongs to class 9th, condition is if student belong to class 9th, then one more chapter is now added in your syllabus. Means question is not going to say anything about any other class. If a class is 9th, then add chapter, one more chapter with the previous chapters. We don't know anything. If the class is not 9th, then what we have to do? Question doesn't say anything. In this, we have to use simple if. And then, see, if statement can be written in two ways. I told you, with single statement, with group of statement. I told you syntax also. All these things I explained with the syntax, and then I am going to provide you theory so that you can understand what I am telling in theory. Before that, I'd provide you syntax of both of them. And see, when we have more than one if continuously in a program, then it is multiple if. Told you with the syntax. And now I'm going to have a question. See, read with me. A company manager announces bonus of 2000 rupees for employee having salary less than 15,000. Means a person, employee that is having salary less than 15,000 getting 2,000 bonus, which is announced by a manager, and want detail of employee, the details for name, experience, salary in separate line. Means one line that person want name, and another line experience, and another line salary, whose experience is more than 10 years. Means if the employee experience is more than 10 years, then manager want all these three details to be displayed. Write a program in Java to accept employee detail, give bonus, and display detail according to the condition. Means if employee experience is not more than 10 years, we are not supposed to do anything. If salary is greater than 15,000, we are not supposed to do anything. In simple, if we have to use, but in this question we have to use two if. Not a single if. We have to use two if. One is for checking whether the salary is less than 15,000 or not. Or the next thing, whether our experience is more than 10 years. And if it is, then we have to display things. All these things we have to do. But we have to keep all these things in our mind. First of all, what is necessary for creation of this program? That is the salary, name, experience. Three things matters: name of employee, experience of employee, and salary. We want three things. After that, we are going to have our program. Means we have to accept these three values from the user. And then we have to check the salary, whether it is less than 15,000. And we have to check whether the experience is more than 10 years. And then we have to display the details. Now see, now we are having our program in front of us. I had created with the input statement java.io.asterisk is common. We are importing java.io. Then we have class if statement. Then throw the exception. Then input statement, buffer reader. All these things are common. I told you earlier also. When we are creating a program with input statement, these few things are common. What is required in our program? Name of an employee, experience of an employee, salary of an employee. We have to accept all these things one by one from user. When we are accepting name is of string type. We have to write in.readline. When we are accepting experience is of integer type. That's why we are converting integer parts in dot readline. We have to use this. When we are accepting salary, again it is integer. Then we have to again write integer dot parts in dot readline, because we are accepting a string and we are converting it into integer and then storing it inside a variable. Then we have to check whether the salary is less than 15,000 or not. And if it is less than 15,000, then we have to display that the person is getting bonus of 2,000 rupees. And if we have to check if experience is greater than 10 or not, 10 years. You are not supposed to write years here, because we are dealing with variables. Variables of integer type. Integer is always going to store integer value. That's why we are not supposed to write any years or percent. In these kinds of things we are not going to write. Experience is greater than 10 years. Then what we have to do? We have to display employee detail, that is name, experience, salary. This much only, because the demand of a question is this much only. Question doesn't say that if the experience is less than 10 years, what we have to do. If the salary is greater than 15,000, what we have to do. Question doesn't say us. That's why we have to think, first of all, what question says and what are the methods we can apply to handle that question, to handle that task. We can have anything in front of us, and we have to think about the methods what we are having in front of us, how we are going to apply that method. See the output what we are getting from our program. The name of an employee, Ankit Mehra. Any name I had written, any of the name. Then we have experience, 12 years. Salary is 14,500. See the bonus, because I told you the question says that if the salary is less than 15,000, that person getting bonus, that is 2,000 rupees. And one more thing I told you, if the experience is greater than 10 years, then we have to display the details of an employee. That's why Detail is going to be displayed, that is employee detail, employee name, Ankit Mehra, employee experience 12 years. We can display year also after 12, and employee salary is 14,500. And see, moving further with if else. Now, see, first of all, I'm telling you the syntax. Then I'm going to provide you explanation for that. Because normally students are going to write a wrong syntax. Syntax is exactly a grammar. You are not supposed to write a wrong grammar. Otherwise, that statement is completely wrong, and the teacher is going to directly circle it, and your marks is being deducted. That's why you have to focus on syntax. If else, if means if is checking whether the condition is true or not. If it is true, then we have to execute these statement because curly braces is mentioned here. From here till here, we have to execute these statement. If a condition provide false, it means we have to execute else statement. If it is true, then these statement. If it is false, then we have to execute else statement. These else defines us. When if is false, then else will run. When if is true, then these statement will run. If and else rule. See, these things are written. The statement run when the condition is true, and the statement run when condition is false. You have to remember these things. Then you are able to understand, and then you are able to create your own programs. And then see, one question is in front of you all, so that you can able to understand how we are going to apply if else. Write a program in Java to accept a number and check whether it is even or odd. Means a number can be a even number or number can be an odd number. Anything else regarding even and odd? Nothing. Means we are having if and we are having else. Number may be even or may be odd. If it is even, then display the next even number, or if it is odd, then display the next odd number. I'd written the sample input also and sample output also, so that you can understand what I am demanding from you all. Means when a user is going to provide 5, we have to check whether 5 is even number or odd number. If it is even number, then we have to display 5 as even number, and we have to display the next even number. But 5 is exactly an odd number. That's why we are getting output that 5 is odd number and next odd number is 7. After 5, the next odd number is 7. After 5, we are getting 6. 6 is even. The next odd number is 7 only. We have to display this. See, program is in front of us. If else statement. The common thing I'd already written. Import, public class, public static void main, string args, throws are exception, input state, stream reader and buffer reader. All these things were common things. And then we have int num. I'd written a number. I'm accepting a number, that's why int num. And then how we are going to accept a number? By writing system.println and a number. We have to accept these values from a user. Then user is going to provide us a number. We are going to store in num by writing integer.parse and in.readline. In.readline always provides a string. Integer.parse and always convert that string into integer, and we are going to store in num only. After getting num, how we are going to check whether it is even or odd? You all know all even number is a multiple of 2. Means when we are going to check whether a number mod 2. Mod 2, what do you mean by mod? Mod always provides us remainder. You all have to remember these few small things. Divide provides us quotient and mod provides us remainder. When we are dividing a number, if a number is 5, then we are going to divide it with 2. What we are getting as quotient, that is 2. As remainder, that is 1. Means the remainder is going to have with modulus and the quotient we are going to have with divide sign. Now we are getting remainder here. Num mod 2. If we are writing num mod 2, we are getting 1. And 1 is equals to 0? No, it is not. It means it is odd number. 5 is odd number. I told you when a condition says true, then this part executed. But our condition says false. Why it says false? Because 1 is equals to 0. No, it is not. That's why our condition says false. When our condition says false, means else part will be executed. Means this part will be executed. We are going to display num, that is 5, is odd number, and the next odd number is num plus 2, means 5 plus 2 is 7. Now see, we are getting a result in front of us. 5 is odd number and next odd number is 7. In this way, you have to create a small program so that you are familiar with if statements, multiple if, and if else. If you have any doubt, then do ask from me. Or if you don't have doubt, then do like it. And for now, goodbye and good luck.